If you shop at Costco, make sure these 10 things are in your cart.
Last week here on the Catholic Money Show, we talked about those 10 things we always, and maybe only, get at Aldi to help control some of the food costs in the Texera household. Mm-hmm. But we talked about that dynamic duo that we use to get our food, which was Aldi last week, and this week, Costco.
Yes. And Aldi last week, we really focused on where are we okay with the quality being maybe low to medium, good enough.
Good quality.
But we're racking in massive savings, right? Mm-hmm. It's that balance between quality and price, okay? And that drives us to Aldi for very specific reasons. And, now the conversation, when we turn to Costco, we're balancing other things, possibly the quality.
Quality is there, man.
It is.
When you're shopping something, I don't know if I've gotten anything at Costco. Maybe something just was kind of weird.
We'll talk about them.
Okay, most of the time. Wow, it's good.
Yeah, the quality is there, even on its Kirkland label.
Oh, the private store brand.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the quality is amazing. I mean, really, you can't really look at the items at Costco and compare them to
Aldi,
Walmart or Aldi or a regular grocery store. I'd say the items in a Costco are more comparable to the items in Whole Foods or natural grocers. If you even just look at the amount of things that are organic, and just the quality there is really, really high. But if you were to go to Whole Foods and natural grocers and buy at the high volume, you would destroy your budget. And so it's nice to capture the health and quality level of a store like that, but at a Costco price, which brings it down more to the realm of like an Aldi when you look at the unit price.
Yeah, it's a good price at Costco, especially for the quality that you get.
Yes, but you're also balancing bulk versus smaller portions. So we always are asking ourselves about Costco, are we able to handle buying this volume of thing? A bag of spinach. Some seasons our family's been in where we're making smoothies every day, or we're just on a salad kick because it's summer. Well, the spinach bag at Costco will get used.
The 3-pound spinach bag,
Yes. And then sometimes it's just going to be wilting. And we know it's time to transition down to maybe the Aldi bag.
Yeah.
Where it's maybe half a pound or 1 pound or
whatever
something.
it is, yeah. Or, I mean, that bag of carrots they have, that 10-pound bag, I think it's 10. At least 10 pounds. It is cheap.
It is cheap.
But it's 10 pounds of carrots.
It's hard.
It's hard to store that thing in your fridge.
It's just hard to think about committing to 10 pounds of carrots. So yeah, our family has...
Unless you're in like a juice mode.
We've only bought it once when we were juicing.
When we had a juicer, yeah.
Yes. But other than that, we generally are not eating 10 pounds of carrots on a reasonably quick base. And our storage in the fridge is just worth paying a little bit more for carrots. Yeah. So it's always, you're kind of balancing those two different things. Now, Jonathan, you referred to how the quality is there at Costco. And it really is.
Yes.
But they have had...
I see your note. I know exactly what you're talking about.
All right. Go for it.
Okay. So I don't think we're that extraordinary in this. We love a good breakfast sausage. A nice patty of breakfast sausage. And at least in our area, the Costco carries, Jones Farms or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's this, pre-cooked patty. It's frozen. It's pretty good. And it's great.
And honestly, for a nice quick breakfast, we throw 5 of them in a pan.
Bingo, bango.
And then we cook an egg, and then boom, there's breakfast.
You got some eats. We were doing our Costco trip. We were running out of sausages. So all right, we got to get another bag. And it wasn't there.
Kirkland.
It was a Kirkland bag of breakfast sausages. So we thought, hey, this is great. It's getting a little bit cheaper. Kirkland is like, it's quality.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It might actually just be the other sausages in a Kirkland bag.
Right.
Because that does happen.
It does happen.
So we got that one.
Oh, and man.
And then we made breakfast. And then we went back to Costco.
And we
returned the sausages.
They were
so bad.
such a miss. Such a miss. They were disgusting. And Costco, they'll do this. They're pretty, they will experiment with their labels sometimes, the Kirkland label, by either making something themselves or just putting it into their own label, but it's somebody else's product.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't know. Anyway, we ended up taking it back, and it turns out basically everyone else did the same thing.
They must have, because the next
So
time we were there, the Jones sausage was back.
They pivoted and they brought back the better quality one, even if it costs them more.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't make as much profit. So I trust Costco because they will seek the higher quality item because that's just part of their
Well, yeah.
Kind of
Because
part
that's
of
the
their,
one people want to buy.
part of their shtick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just going to give you the label because it was cheaper. It had to actually arguably be worth it. And it wasn't. So they went ahead and withdrew that experiment.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate that. All right. So let's get into this. Let's talk about where Costco shines, John.
Oh, yes, please. All right, let's start with the meat. The meat is great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan, and we've done the math. In the past, I don't know if we did an episode or not, but we've talked about buying a half of a cow
Mm-hmm.
directly.
Yes.
And
we've done it many times.
Yeah, we've done it, and it's good. You get a bunch of different cuts and all this stuff. You can get a little customization going on there. And at least in the past, we saved a good bit of bucks doing that.
Mm-hmm. But then with the pandemic,
We tried to buy another half a cow.
yeah, the cost of corn, I want to say this one farmer told me it went up like an astronomical rate, the grain that they were feeding. And then there were a couple of other things that happened. And all of a sudden, buying from this farmer, that we had done in the past was now looking more like $8 to $9 a pound when it's all said and done. And of course, Costco went through the same issues, I'm sure, but they probably had certain contracts in place that kept their costs more stabilized. And so all of a sudden in the last 18 months, it was cheaper for us to stop going with the side of beef and to go ahead and just bulk up on meat at Costco.
And that gives us also the flexibility. All right, we're going to maybe do a little bit more ground beef than we usually do. A little less steaks or something.
Yeah.
But
maybe
when you're
now
getting a
it's time-
half a cow, you're getting a half a cow.
Yeah, you're committed to X amount of roasts, X amount of steaks,
Mm-hmm.
so much ground beef. And then you're getting other things too, like liver and bones. And, there's the other things. So really, there's 3 or 4 cuts of beef that we typically use. Ground beef, a certain type of steak. I think we get the top sirloins at Costco. We will get the roasts, whatever one tends to be, has the best price. Or we've been known to buy roasts when they go on a mega sale at a store in town. Sure. But that's super rare.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll get beef stew meat.
Yep. And then the chicken's great too. Mm-hmm. I really like this. I mean, gosh, even when I didn't even know what I was thinking about back then, but when I was single, I would go to Costco and I would get dried mango.
Of course you did. Our family's still buying that.
I would get trail mix, of course.
Yeah.
Single Jonathan staple. And I remember buying chicken a good bit. And and they still do it. This is what I love about buying chicken, fresh chicken. I guess you call it fresh, refrigerated.
We tend
chicken.
not to buy the frozen chicken.
You can get the frozen stuff. It usually has
Solution.
more, water, salt stuff injected into it. So it's just less chicken. And maybe lately, or maybe it was the last time we really looked at the prices weren't that different.
They weren't. They were more expensive in the frozen.
Yeah, so it's like, we'll just get the refrigerated stuff. And so what I love about it is, if you go to like almost any other grocery store, and you get like the big pack of chicken to get the low price. It's just a big pack of chicken.
Now you got to go in and separate.
You got to figure it out. But with Costco, it's split into, I think, was it 6 different little sub packs. And so you've got, the chicken thighs, it's like 4 thighs in a pack.
So we just get 2 out for our family.
Just get 2 packs out. And that's usually great for most of our recipes. They do that with the chicken breasts, with the drumsticks, and with the thighs.
A lot cleaner.
And it's all sealed up, so you just cut it when you get home. You get all these little packs. You can put them in the freezer. I love it.
And then, I mean, even they've got great deals on even fish. We've been known to get the wild-caught salmon. We've been, we make fish sticks during Lent, and they have incredible, I think it was a halibut. Is that what it was? Or cod? No,
I don't
cod.
know. It was good. That's all
we just
I know.
appreciate that, we can get reasonable prices for meat and get really good quality meat over at Costco.
Yes.
The one frozen meat we buy is the chicken wings.
Gotta get those chicken wings.
We don't buy chicken wings that are pre-seasoned.
Yeah.
We buy the plain
wings.
bare wings, and we cook them and make our own sauce out of Frank's and Kerrygold.
And a little bit of something else.
And I recommend everybody be doing that because those ones that come already done, like they're so gross.
They're just not. It's just not worth it.
It's
when not as good.
When you make your own and then put your own sauce on at the end, I think it rivals restaurants.
It also helps. You can't eat gluten. A
Yeah,
lot of
that
those
helps.
pre-made ones have a little bit of
yeah.
breading on them to help them stay crispy.
Yes.
So then they're just out by default.
True.
But you just make your own sauce. It's so good.
Okay. That was the first one. Second thing.
Right next to the meat.
Cheese.
The cheese.
Cheese. All the cheese.
They've got so much good
Yes.
cheese.
Sometimes when I'm doing like a stock up on the fridge and I go to Costco, it kind of feels like all I did was put dairy into my cart. And I'm going to get to that next. But cheese deserves its own category. We get the cheddar. Sometimes we'll get the Colby Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And we buy those in like the
big brick.
Is it the
2
2
pound brick in the big refrigerated section.
The sharp cheddar.
Yes.
That's what it is. The sharp cheddar. We always get those. The prices on those went a little wonky during the pandemic, but they brought them back down, thankfully. We get the feta.
Yep.
We get the Parmesan.
Yeah, the big jar of shredded Parmesan.
And I believe that's Kirkland.
Yes,
it
is.
We get the Kirkland, I believe it's them, the sliced mozzarella.
The fresh mozzarella logs.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, they switched over to a Kirkland one in the last year or so.
Right. They used to have that.
Used to be Bel Giorgio.
Yes. And then we will also get Kerrygold sometimes. Or recently, Kirkland has come out with its own
the Dubliner, you mean?
Yeah.
It's from...
I'm so sorry.
From...
Dubliner by Kerrygold.
Kerrygold makes Dubliner.
It's like a sharp cheddar.
It's a cheddar-ish.
With a little bit of a crystal in it.
Yeah, it's a cheddar-ish cheese. But yeah, we just got this last trip was an English cheddar. A Kirkland English
Tasted
cheddar.
almost
it was pretty
identical.
Close. Pretty close.
And then my favorite, the wine cheese.
Ooh, I thought you were gonna go marinated mozzarella.
Oh, okay. Those are
when that goes on sale.
Those are seasonal.
Yes,
they're not even in the
it's
store
like,
year round.
No.
The seasoned mozzarella balls by Bella G.
I think they switched. They switched suppliers.
Switched suppliers.
It's somebody else.
What are those?
Wine-soaked cheese.
The wine-soaked cheese. There's Merlot. There's a Cab Sauvignon.
Yeah.
It's so good.
They're good.
It's so good.
They're really good.
And then also the little 3 cheese packs we buy at Christmas and Easter.
Oh, Boisson.
Belson.
Oh,
they're so good.
Yeah, they go on sale. They're so good. And
a lot of cheese.
And I'll say that maybe this year, maybe if they do it this year. So we got the wine advent calendar last year. They had a cheese. I regret not getting it.
Yeah.
We got the Aldi one. It was like, that should have been a Lent calendar for how that tasted.
We didn't mention this in last week's episode, but we don't buy cheese or meat at Aldi because they're gross.
It's just no good. It's not worth it.
No.
Mm-mm.
No. So that's why it's number 1 and 2 at Costco.
Yeah, but if I'm looking forward to that calendar if they have it again this year. Are you looking for some relief from those ever-increasing grocery prices? I know I am, and so Amanda and I have been hard at work looking at all sorts of different ways to save on food. We've put it all together in our food and grocery bundle. You get our $400 food spending slasher, where an interview with a few experts on how to partner with farmers, start a garden, how to meal plan well, and make delicious and tasty foods for you and your family. You can grab that at walletwin.com/food bundle. And if you use the coupon code GROCERY, you'll get $10 off. That's walletwin.com/food bundle with coupon code GROCERY. Let's keep going with the world of cow, right? We talked about the meat, the cheese. Let's talk about dairy.
Yes. So we get the Kerrygold butter.
Oh, yeah.
When it goes on sale, we get the limit.
That.
We get the max limit. You can.
So good.
Unsalted butter, we get the Kirkland one.
Mm-hmm.
Once in one of those Business Insider articles, it was like 7 things never to get at Costco.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I've seen that.
It said sour cream because you'll never
Who's going to use that
You'll never
much?
Use that much. The Texeras every other week.
Sour cream's so good.
Sour cream.
We don't even go crazy with it.
We use it to make ranch. We put it in baked goods.
That's only ranch dip we hardly even use. Yeah, it's like a couple baked goods.
We top nachos.
Yeah, we use it. I don't know how we use it, but fritters.
We use it to dip fritters in. Come on, we're eating sour cream all the time.
It's good. And so it's a great price to get the big one. Would you get half and half in cream there?
We get both.
Because it's a pretty good price.
And they are usually organic.
Yeah, it's the organic one.
It's the Horizon
so you
brands.
Get that for cheaper than normal at the other stores.
Mm-hmm.
We
much cheaper.
Sometimes buy milk, but not usually.
Only
it's usually more
desperation.
Expensive.
Yeah.
It's just if we need it and we know we won't be near Aldi. I do love the milk jugs they use, though.
The shape.
Yeah.
More of like a squarish.
Mm-hmm. A little bit taller, but it's not worth it to pay more.
Yeah. So yeah, we buy a lot of dairy there in general.
Mm-hmm.
Cottage cheese is
We'll go in and out of season on cottage cheese.
We prefer the full fat varieties, and Costco only has low fat. And then we make our own yogurt, so we don't really.
Maybe
buy
we'll start
those.
making our own cottage cheese.
When they have oh my goodness, I'm forgetting. I'm blanking on the name. Our favorite yogurt ever. Noosa. When they have those on sale.
We'll pick up a pack.
Get them because they're just
so good,
so ridiculously good.
I've been trying, but I get close sometimes.
We love them. Yeah, you've been trying to. We've gotten really close, but and we've even used their yogurt to as a strain in our own to see if that'll help. It's just that perfect consistency.
Yeah, they do a really good job.
Okay, all right. Dairy.
Out of dairy world. So that was meat, cheese, dairy. Number 4, nuts.
What was that?
Nuts. What business you in, Salt? Nuts.
Is that a thing?
That's a Willy Wonka reference.
Okay. I did not get it.
Yep. So we go nuts for the nuts at Costco. They're really good quality.
They are.
And they're very reasonably priced.
I don't know if you find anywhere better.
So the walnuts are walnut halves. Other places, right? Because we've needed some when we're other places.
Walnut pieces.
You get pieces. You get chunks.
It's the leftovers from the belt.
Mm-hmm. So you get walnut halves. The almonds are. I mean, So you got the nuts in the baking section.
Yeah, the pecans.
The pecans. Yeah, the big bags
good.
Of nuts are awesome.
And if you toast your pecans,
baby,
and eat them with Dubliner,
that's a good treat.
All of a sudden, just thank me later. Okay, go ahead.
And if you're feeling really crazy, you can get some of those praline pecans in the snack section.
Oh, you like those?
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had them because
we've gotten them once.
There might be gluten in them or something.
They're just covered in sugar.
Okay, so we just don't. We just steer clear, huh?
But yeah, the nuts are great, and you can't have nuts without peanut butter.
Mm-hmm. And
the
that's where we get it.
Kirkland peanut butter. It's the natural peanut butter that's just peanuts and salt. It's my favorite peanut butter.
That's bold.
I love it.
It's also the dog's favorite.
That's
when
true.
we are done with every peanut butter,
they can hear the scrape. They know.
Our oldest, not the youngest one yet. She's
not on it yet.
Our oldest dog, he's 8.5. He hears Jonathan scraping the peanut butter. He must smell it from across the room.
But it's also the sound. He gets it on the sound.
He runs over and sits there wagging his tail, and he knows you're going to hand it to him, and he goes outside and he licks the container clean.
Yep.
Yeah, so everybody likes that peanut butter.
Yeah.
But yeah, even pine nuts. It's not really this. I guess it's not the same, but pumpkin seeds. It's not really a nut, but nuts and seeds.
Yeah.
We get our hemp seeds there. We get our chia seeds there.
Yeah.
Kind of that nuts and seeds category. We get Brazilian nuts here.
Oh yeah.
Brazilian or Brazil?
Brazil nuts.
Basically, we buy all their nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they're just super good quality.
Nuts for nuts.
All right. Well, that brings us into the next one. Also in that aisle
is spices. You can't. Okay, you can't go wrong. They're good. And depending on where you are in the country, they may carry the best taco seasoning you'll ever have.
Oh, really? That's locational, huh?
I've seen like regular taco seasoning at other Costco's when we've been traveling. And it's very sad.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like it's Spice Islands. Is that what it is with the yellow label?
Yeah.
Whoa, man, it's just next level.
There's a lot of heft in the seasoning.
Chunks of stuff. There's dried jalapeno flakes, and it's really good.
It is not,
and it's cheap.
Like your typical packet.
It's just not powder. Yeah,
it's not
there's
powder.
Something going on in it.
Yeah, there's something to it.
Mm-hmm.
We get that. We get the cinnamon.
The cinnamon is great. It's high quality cinnamon. It's delicious.
Yeah, we get the salt. We get the pepper.
Mm-hmm.
We get the vanilla.
And the Montreal steak. I mean, all sorts of stuff. Everything cumin. Bagel. The cumin. Yeah.
Yeah, all of it. We do a lot of cooking.
Yes.
And so it just makes sense for us to buy our spices in that high of volume.
Mm-hmm. Now, some things, I mean, they don't even sell, ground nutmeg in a huge container.
Right.
That one, nutmeg in particular, it falls flat very quickly. So you wouldn't want that much of that. But a lot of other spices stick around for a while.
Sure.
Even when they're ground.
Yeah, but I'd say Aldi might be a good place to go for things where you just don't need the bulk.
Sure.
Because they're great in their prices as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then, sometimes you just don't need that much of a certain spice. But yeah, we buy...
That whole baking aisle is deal after deal.
We live in that baking aisle. Mm-hmm. Spices, the honey, all of that. Yeah. That's a great aisle for us.
Oils.
Yeah, that's not even on here.
I know.
There's more than 10 things we get.
Keep going down the aisles, baby.
All right, so the Texeras like to bake. And that whole aisle is our jam. But then...
That's the next aisle over.
Let's go to the next aisle over. Yeah, let's go to the next aisle over. Simple... Actually, this is still in that aisle.
It depends which product it is.
Simple Mills goods.
Yeah, so if you have anybody in your house who's gluten-free, that kind of thing, you're just trying to stay away from some certain grains.
I want to say they're dairy-free too.
Yeah, probably. Simple. You may be very acquainted with Simple Mills.
Simple Mills. They started back in the day with
cake mixes and stuff.
I don't know
what was their
I felt like it was their crackers.
Oh,
and I know that Costco for sure carries their almond flour crackers, which they are so much better than.
It's just so good.
It's the best cracker.
I don't care if you can eat gluten. You should eat these.
Yes, they're so delicious. And then they've expanded. Yeah, they're into cake mixes now.
Cake mixes and frostings. And
they've got pizza
bread
mixes. And I've never had a miss with them.
No.
They are now recently into those graham crackers. They recently started carrying those at Costco.
Little graham cracker bites, yeah.
And they're delicious. So that's in the cart. And then one time I was at Costco, there was the Simple Mills banana bread mix, and they were on closeout. And it was 3 bags in each box, so you could make 3 loaves of this banana bread. And it was on a closeout, I want to say for $5.97 a box.
Wow.
And I bought, I I think, as many as I could because there weren't very many left.
Yeah.
But I know that one of those banana bread loaves is breakfast for our family. And then you put the Kerrygold on top of it. It's so good. And at $6 for the whole thing, and there's three of them.
$2 a loaf.
I can't even make banana bread.
Nope.
For that cost. So it was a no-brainer for me.
The problem, however, with Simple Mills is it is pricey.
Yeah, you pay for it.
If you try to get that business at a regular supermarket.
Oh, my goodness.
You're not going to get very much, and you're going to pay out your nose.
Yes. So if you're going to buy it, buying it bulk is
You've got to get
critical.
the warehouse club size and price if you're going to go for this stuff.
But
it's a crime.
It's good
to buy a box of crackers of theirs at a normal store.
Yeah, but because it's so expensive. So the Simple Mills crackers there, it's $10.99 for the box.
It's still an expensive cracker, but it's way cheaper than it would be elsewhere for that much.
They're also a lot
crackers.
denser.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, it kind of helps me be like, okay, I'm getting one handful of crackers. And then I'm cutting it off, whereas you're sitting down with a cheap bag of chips or something.
It's gone.
You just pile that thing away and well beyond what reason would suggest, right? But when you're getting these kind of quality, it just makes it be like, okay, no, I got to save this longer. We do that with the dried mango there too.
Oof, yeah.
Which shockingly is not on this list. I had to whittle it down.
Yeah.
All right, so take us to the next one. Let's go.
Let's
go into household goods.
Is dog food. Kind of maybe a cross between groceries and household goods. It is a paw in each world, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get the Kirkland dog food. When we first got our dog, we were getting some of the pricey stuff. I think we had that blue stuff.
He was our first
Blue
baby.
buffalo.
He was our first baby.
Yeah. And then we wised up.
Then we had an actual baby.
Yes. Yes.
And just realized, okay, it's not sustainable to be getting, for our income, to be getting that high of a quality of dog food. We need to get as high as quality as we can, but we really need it to be a lower price. And that's where enter stage left, Costco's dog food came in.
Bingo, bango, yeah. They've got a variety of different kinds. For a long time, we were getting the grain-free.
The grain-free.
Nature's
beef.
Something. Yeah, the beef one. It's the cheapest one. But it was good. And this is a very important quality in dog food for me. Because I don't judge the taste.
No.
The smell. We've had some cheap dog foods that just smell rough.
Yeah.
This Costco stuff doesn't smell bad.
No. It smells
So
like
I'm
if I was a dog, I'd want to eat it. So we were doing that for a long time, but then we got a second dog.
We were buying dog food all the time.
And we were kind of essentially, doubling that. And we realized, okay, we probably need to pinch this down a little bit because this bag 2 times a month it's just a little higher than we wanted to commit to dog food. And so we did step into the Kirkland still, just their adult dog food.
More like regular dog food, yeah.
Yeah.
It comes in a bigger bag, and it's a bit cheaper.
Yes. So now that is able to, it's comparable on its price, but I think you get 5 pounds more, five or 10.
More. Yeah.
And so it was able to help us have 2 dogs and not feel like all we're doing is feeding the dogs. So that was very nice.
Dog food's good.
Dog food.
Also, next on the list is toilet paper. We talked about this in our toilet paper episode a long time ago. But it's a relatively good deal. I think it's a good deal.
We even compared Aldi and Costco.
Yeah. It's a good deal for a good paper. There's much cushier ones out there.
Don't we all want Charmin?
And there's what's that one? Cottonelle.
Oh, it's Cottonelle. Yes.
The ridges.
Yeah. But for most people, I mean, maybe when we're retired or empty nesters, we'll shift to that. Right now, our kids use toilet paper like it is going out of style. They use inappropriate amount. 3 girls.
Yeah.
And they use inappropriate amounts to wipe. And nearly clog the toilet every time. And so, no, it is not worth it to get anything better quality.
When I was a missionary, we had a student.
Oh, okay.
I heard about this from my teammate. This student bought some Cottonelle to use on Sundays.
Wow.
Yeah. And just use whatever was in the dorm the rest of the week.
Oh, wow.
So
That's
it's
the
the Sunday roll. And it's so good, right? There are plusher rolls out there, and there are cheaper rolls out there. Mm-hmm. The Costco roll is a very nice middle ground.
You're not hurting. You're never hurting.
No.
You're not in pain.
It's not that hardly two-ply, see-through, flat paper, public restroom toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
That.
It's good. It's a good roll.
It's a good roll. So that's why the Texeras get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And for a long time, they kept not having it. Thank goodness it's been back. But that's one of those things that has been subject to both shrinkflation.
Oh, yeah.
They made their rolls smaller and charged
less sheets.
They were keeping it at $16.99, and they only did that because they shrunk their rolls a bit.
Yep.
But then, costs just continue to be what they are, and now this thing is solidly $18.99 for even the smaller rolls. But you're still getting a better deal than you are at most other places. And there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, let's on to number 9. Baby wipes. Baby wipes. The Kirkland baby wipe.
Kirkland baby wipe is a great
The Kirkland baby wipe,
man.
I hate Huggies baby wipes. They're the worst. They shred open as you're wiping.
As you're taking it out of the package.
They rip there, but then when you're wiping, sometimes they'll rip in half, and now you have poo on your hand.
Not when you want it to fail.
No, I need something that feels like I could. The Kirkland wipes. Let's say I needed to rappel off a building. I could tie these together and make a rope long enough, and I would trust that it wouldn't rip on my way down.
Well, according to the package, they're made with tencel.
I don't know what that is.
Which I don't know what it is. I've tried to research it because I thought that would be the secret in understanding who's making these for them. But I couldn't find it. It's some sort of a tree fiber or something.
It's a sturdy
It's a great wipe.
It's a sturdy really wipe good one. With a non-obnoxious scent.
Oh, I don't even think they have a scent.
Yeah, I don't know if
you have the scent of, just it, but there's no added scent.
Right, yeah, the fakey perfumed ones. The quality, though, I think it's like a penny a wipe or something.
It's just a really
good wipe. It's a good one. And, yeah.
And I'd say the clasp thingy to keep it closed, it works really well. Mm-hmm. The bag is great. It's, it's just a good wipe. Mm-hmm. And, okay, we don't have a baby.
Why we
but
still
we buy those
wipes?
Wipes?
Yes, we do.
Because we got kids and they get sticky and messy, especially one of them.
And sometimes 3-year-olds need a little bit of a wet wipe.
Sure.
Still.
Don't we all?
Keep things clean and fresh. Yeah, sometimes, a kid you'll be walking around and you're like, I don't think you wiped so good. Let's go have another go.
Get the wipe out, yeah. Yep. So the Costco ones are a great choice. But now, you can't have a list of
10 and the best.
The things you need to buy at Costco if you're talking about your grocery budget without this last item. The famous. The price hasn't changed in 20 years. Rotisserie chicken.
Every time we go to Costco, we buy a rotisserie chicken. Mm-hmm. Even if we don't plan to eat it right when we get home.
Most of the time
Even if we don't plan to eat it or the next day. But I do know that it is so much cheaper for me to get chicken off of that and to make chicken salad with, or to put into, if I'm making chicken nachos or something.
Yep.
I'm going to take the meat off of this chicken, if we're not going to eat it kind of the traditional way and serve a chicken at dinner, than it is to even go buy the meat with the chicken we talked about earlier.
You get about 2 pounds of meat off of a Costco rotisserie chicken.
Yes, and if you're running the price there, Costco's chicken is a little over $3 a pound now.
So that's
$2.50.
running
you $6. What is the cost of the
this
rotisserie chicken?
It's $4.99.
Yeah, $4.99.
You get 2 pounds And that's 2 pounds of chicken meat. I've weighed it after I've taken apart the bird.
Not even including the bones.
Exactly. So you get, it's $2.50 a pound. It's already cooked. Now, they do put in some flavoring and all that stuff. There's some injections going on.
Nothing insane or like, I can't pronounce these ingredients.
But yeah, there's something in there. But it's good. It's tasty stuff. And yeah, it's cheap. It's easy. I mean, it's the secret to having lots of chicken going on in your house.
And
you can turn it into a lot of things. And then you get the chicken bone.
Mm-hmm. So
now you've got chicken stock.
Yes. Oh, we, in our WalletWin Academy, we have done an entire recipe. If you could plan your week and the meals you're going to make around a Costco chicken, here's what you could do. And we gave that to our Academy members.
Get multiple meals out of that bird.
Right. You start off maybe just going home
and
eat some chicken. But inevitably, there's still some meat on them bones. So you're going to go ahead and plug it off. And Jonathan has showed me, I don't even know how to get meat off of bones. Chicken wings or anything. You always find more meat.
There's always more on there.
You always find more meat. And you get that carcass cleaned way down to the bones, literally. And then we usually turn that into either regular chicken salad or curry chicken salad, one of our favorites, or we'll go ahead and just put it on top of chicken nachos, or we'll put it into something like a chicken stir fry or something. Then we will go ahead and use the bones to make broth, homemade chicken broth.
Oof.
And then we have taken that chicken broth, and half of it will go to make a soup, some sort of a veggie soup, and then the other half we use to make Mexican rice.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the gift that keeps on giving.
That $5
that
stretches, man.
$5. It is probably the hardest working $5 in your grocery budget that week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're going to get as much life out of any other $5 purchase in so many varieties and in different ways.
Yep.
And maybe you have a bigger family than ours. Even if our family grew, I would not hesitate to buy 2 or 3 of these chickens a week. Yeah, that's just part of our Costco routine now.
And they know it.
It's a loss leader, just like we talked about with Aldi, and they have their red specials, whatever they call them.
Red hot deals.
Red hot deals.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I read.
This is Costco's epitome of the loss leader. This and the hot dog special.
I read some article about the chickens. They lose, I think it's like tens of millions of dollars a year on rotisserie chicken.
But where do they put the rotisserie chicken?
And the rotisserie, no matter what Costco you go to, it is in the back of the store.
It's in the dead back, in the middle.
You got to walk through all the other cool stuff before you get there. And
you are never leaving Costco with only a rotisserie chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
They know what they're doing.
They know they have not. They have not become the behemoth that they are, because they were fooled. They know.
They planned it out.
They did. And I appreciate them sticking to their guns on not increasing the price and how committed they are to that.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually, it shows that integrity.
It's helpful.
Keeping their promises when that's what I think it was their founder or first CEO or whoever decided that would be their thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's continued to be. And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our list. We talked about all the things: meat, cheese, the dairy, the nuts, the spices, simple meals, dog food, teepee, wipes, and the beloved rotisserie chicken.
Can I give one more reason to love Costco?
Okay.
This one's about the meat. I don't know. This was a long time ago when I read about this. But most places, right, they source their beef from all over the place. All different companies, all over the world. And then they make their ground beef. And they grind it all together. And then they test it for, bad stuff that's going to get you sick or kill you.
So that they can't actually call out who gave them the bad meat?
Because they do it after the grind and when everything comes together, they don't know who did it. So they're saying we test and all this stuff, but they can't go back to any of their suppliers and say, hey,
place the blame.
Clean up your junk because you've given us,
E. coli.
meat with poop in it or whatever.
Yeah.
Costco will test before it all comes together so that they know who sent them the bad stuff if they do. And because of that, they're probably sending them better stuff. And it's just one more step of higher quality, a better process that's going to end up with a better product.
Yes. Yeah, we appreciate that commitment to quality. Our income is not at a level where we could exclusively shop groceries at Costco and still actually retire someday. So again, that killer combo of Aldi meets Costco really does kind of round things out for the Texera household. I hope that this series of the 10 things you need to buy at Aldi and the 10 things you need to buy at Costco have been blessings to you. I hope that it helps you reduce that seemingly ever expanding grocery budget that so many households have battled in this last year. Don't forget that we have our food and grocery bundle that you can access, and you can even get $10 off that with code GROCERY. I believe that's over at
WalletWin.com/food bundle. You get a big list of everything that's inside there, but we talk with a farmer. We talk with a master gardener. There's lots of different ways to cut your grocery bill without sacrificing your taste buds.
Yes.
So check that out, WalletWin.com/food bundle. Don't forget to use that promo code GROCERY for $10 off. That's at WalletWin.com/food bundle.
If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review wherever it is that you listen to podcasts.
And tell a buddy.
Tell a buddy.
Check out the Catholic Money Show.
And if you happen to read our book, if you didn't know, we do have a book, How to Attack Debt, Build Savings, and Change the World Through Generosity. We're looking for reviews on that as well, especially over on Amazon. So if you have read the book, could you please head on over to Amazon and go ahead and leave a review, letting everybody else know that you loved it and how it maybe impacted you and your family's life. It'll make it easier for others to find it as a resource as well. Thanks again for listening to this week's episode of The Catholic Money Show. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Thanks for joining us today. You can learn more about this show and the WalletWin program at WalletWin.com.
Music in this episode's from Dylan Gardner. Listen to his new album, Almost Real, on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your music. See you next week.